All right, so welcome, you guys. I'm so happy and excited to be with you today. I'm Dr. Shelley Nash. I'm going to tell you a little about me in a few minutes, but let's get going with this masterclass. So we're going to be here today and tomorrow, and I'm super excited to share some things with you that have helped me tremendously, and hopefully it will help you as well in your entire life, not just your business. So how to build confidence for network marketing success and accelerate towards the success you desire. That's our topic of the next 2 days. We're going to dive deep into that. So are you ready is the question. Are you ready to soar in your business? Let me get my clicker focused here. Do you have big dreams, but you don't have the confidence to go for it? Do you look for validation from others? Do you keep trying to improve your results, but nothing is changing? So we're going to talk about these 3 science-based secrets of building a powerful self-confidence, a powerful self-image. And as you'll find out, I believe that everything begins with us. Our success begins with us. So during this masterclass, I'm going to be teaching you, and you're going to be learning these secrets. Number 1 is how to set the right kind of goals and stop worrying what other people think of you. This is huge. It was huge for me. And then how to let go of fear and really embrace the adventure that you're on with network marketing, or in your entire life, really. And how to eliminate a competitive mindset and build a productive team that really works together, and even how to shift your own mind from competition to creation, and that can have a huge change in how everything is working for you. So what are the advantages of network marketing? There are a ton of advantages of being in network marketing. In fact, my mentor, Bob Proctor, says if he was to start all over, he would be in network marketing. So what I love about network marketing is that you can have a worldwide business. You can work from home, which we all know is pretty essential right now, an advantage that you can leverage right now in our times. It's usually you have exceptional products, and the products are easy to use and very effective. You have unlimited financial potential. That is huge. That's why a lot of people get into network marketing, because your potential is unlimited. You can go as far as you can go, or as you want to go. You have mentorship, you have leadership training, you have support and accountability, you have a positive growth environment, and you belong to a community. So look at all those positive things about network marketing. You can use those for your clients if you like. This is why we do it. This is why we stay in it. This is what we love about it. And so I'm not here to replace your company's training for you, but I'm really here to say there's another key that might be missing for you with the training that you're getting. At least it was for me. And so that's what I'm here to talk about, because I really believe in network marketing. And I hope you're excited about it too. I thought I saw a couple more things in the chat. Let me just check that. It's probably just no screen share, black screen. Is everybody else able to see the screen? It says I'm screen sharing. Okay. All right, good. I think that, Rosie, might be a technical problem for you. If not, sorry. Okay, you're seeing it. Thanks, guys. All right, we'll keep going. All right, so what is holding you back? Just some ideas, some questions to think about. Are you doubting yourself and your ability all the time, from time to time? Never. Are you too concerned about what others think about you? Do you feel like you've lost the momentum that you had in the beginning? Just some things to think about. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. This is huge, you guys. This is really huge. So who you are, is perfection, really. But it's who you think you're not. It's all those limiting beliefs that hold you back from achieving what you want to achieve. So it's not who you are that holds you back, it's who you think you're not. And that's really what we're going to be talking about this whole hour. So I'm going to launch a poll. Have you guys ever taken a poll on Zoom? This is the coolest thing. What is the biggest obstacle holding you back from the success that you desire in network marketing? I just kind of want to see where you guys are at. So let me launch this poll. And what you do is you just click what applies to you. So let me launch that, and then I can see when you've responded. So we have fear of what people will think, lack of self-confidence, self-sabotage, uncomfortable selling, negative self-talk, non-productive activities, self-doubt, fear of rejection. So click the one I think that fits you best. I think you're just able to click one in this particular poll. It's so awesome to see them coming in. Well, you're like kind of all over the place so far. Hopefully everybody's seeing it. I'll just wait till most of you have finished it so we can see what's the top one. Thank you, Lauren. Thanks for being on. Thank you. So is everybody done? Almost everybody's done. So we have uncomfortable selling, and non-productive activities. And then we have pretty much everyone checked, but those were the top ones. Not all of you have voted yet, but nobody said lack of self-confidence. That's interesting. That's what this whole talk is about. Well, maybe you'll think of confidence in a different way after the talk is over today. But thank you so much. That helps me out a lot. Maybe I'm just going to share this with you so you can see it. This is our results. So that's awesome, huh? If you've never done a poll on Zoom, it's really fun. So let's move on. I wanted to share with you a little bit about my network marketing experiences over the last 24 years. I don't want to share that much, but I just wanted to let you know that I am in network marketing. I've been in network marketing for 24 years. I started with a company called Sunrider, and in Sunrider, what I loved most about that company was for 10 years, I had the most awesome leadership training. And that was really what kept me in that business. I had big success in the beginning of that company. I was still actually an active chiropractor at that time. So I was doing that plus my chiropractic. And I still actually buy products from Sunrider. Don't do it as a business, but I still buy their products. And that's the awesome thing about network marketing too, is that, if you have a great product, people are always going to use your product, especially the replacement products if they love it. So continue to buy that every single month since 1996, a long time. And then I had a little brief stint in a company called Cyele Healthy Chocolate. That's the next one over. And that was actually a pretty short time that I was with that company, but it was really fun. And that was the president of the company, and the result of that, I looked them up this morning and they got bought out by somebody else, which often happens actually in network marketing. And then I was with Young Living for, I don't know, 6 to 7 years ago. I'm still with Young Living. That picture is from 7, 8 years ago. And I created this whole, a lot of yoga essential oil classes that we did. And that was a particular class that we did around the feelings kit with yoga. And I just love essential oils. That's really my passion. And anyone else here in essential oils, put a 1 in the chat for me. And then I got invited into Mayo essential oils about, I don't know how long, 4 or 5 years ago. And so I switched from Young Living to Mayo essential oils, became really successful in that company. It was actually the parent company is Zija, and Mayo essential oils is a division of that. So got really successful in that right away. and even got to go on the cruise, which is awesome. Won a free trip on a cruise. So, and this, if you don't know, is Dr. Daniel Penois, who is like the master in essential oils. And I got to meet him several times in my stint. So, so I'm still in Young Living essential oils as well. And so that's just kind of a little bit of my history. I don't want to tell you, I just wanted to tell you I am in network marketing. And what I'm going to talk to you about mostly is not network marketing, but it's about you. So that's a little of my history. Let me see if I can get the chat up. I see lots of chats. Oh, lots of people in essential oils. Yeah, doTERRA. I mean, you know, I love all essential oils, so I'm not, you know, that's just the company that I aligned with. So any essential oils are awesome. So, and I know some of you are in different kinds of network marketing too, like financial services and things like that. So it all offers us that freedom that we're looking for. You know, most people in life are looking for freedom, happiness, you know, and just the lifestyle that they want to have. And so it really offers us that. So just a tiny little bit about me and the rest of my life so that you can just know my background a little bit. Currently, I'm a results-focused success coach and director of Nash 2020 Consulting. And I'm a certified Procter Gallagher consultant. This is Bob Proctor's organization, if you know of him from the movie The Secret. And really, he'll be in business 60 years now. He's going to be 86 this summer. And he's one of the leading teachers in mind development and how we think in order to get success. So I aligned with him about 3 years ago, and I was previously already coaching, but I aligned with him, and you'll find out more why I did that in a second. And then I've been a holistic chiropractor since 1992, not currently practicing because I've moved my focus to coaching. Always I look to get to the source of the problems for people. And in chiropractic, we look to the spine as the source and the nervous system and basically the innate intelligence that comes through the body. And in coaching, especially the coaching that I do, we look at our thinking. Everything starts with our thinking, and we're not really taught about our thinking. So I've continually to up level kind of and go on this journey of getting to the source of healing. And previously, and while I was a chiropractor, I did massage therapy for about 13 years. And I just wanted to keep growing and helping people in different ways. So then in a former life, I actually have a degree in textiles and clothing and fashion and things like that. So I have lots of background, lots of experience, lots of knowledge. And this is what I want to say. With all that knowledge that I had, with all the certifications, I have way more certifications than what's listed here. And you probably do too. I still didn't know what I didn't know. There was still things I didn't know. And I had actually focused on body-mind healing and body-mind connection for so many years. And I thought I knew everything that I needed to know about body-mind. You know, I studied Chinese medicine, and that's connected with the emotions. And I was really fascinated with emotions. And so I just thought I knew everything that I needed to know, but come to find out that I really didn't. So about 5 years ago, I found myself looking out the window of my house, looking through the blinds a lot and thinking, like, I just felt like I wanted to go further than where I was at. I felt stuck, and I didn't know how to go further on my own. I knew I needed somebody to help me. I needed a mentor. I needed a coach. And so I was asking around and trying to find a mentor coach that would be good for me. I knew I kind of needed to surround myself with different people because I had a big vision for myself. And yet I really didn't know how. So that's what I just kept going, here's where I'm at. I have this big vision. I don't know how I'm going to get there, and I need somebody to help me. So after a while of sitting and looking out the window and feeling completely frustrated by that, I started asking around. And basically, Bob Proctor really came into my life about 5 years ago. He was actually, I mean, I knew of him before 5 years ago, but I actually met him at a personal development class. And So this was actually before I started working with him, but you know, there was a photo op, so I got my photo with Bob Proctor. Little did I know that I would be on a journey with Bob Proctor. And so then I took a giant leap of faith. I love this picture because this was taken in Hawaii, and I did a special trip with him and 15 other people. And it was pretty amazing, but I love that you can kind of see the look of terror on my face, or the look of excitement, terror, talking to him, and him sitting there right in your face saying, "What do you want?" And I'm just like going, ah! And really trying to get me to go to my next level, really, you know, helping me, talking to me. So I had dived in a few months before this happened, but I really thought to myself, if somebody that's been that successful throughout his entire life, he's helped huge companies, huge businesses, you know, create millions and billions of dollars, individuals, so many people, like, he can help me. And I really didn't know how he was going to help me at this time. Even in this picture, I really didn't know that much, but I just put my complete trust and faith that it was that there really wasn't any other direction for me to go. I felt like I didn't have any other options. And so I just dove in, and that's kind of, I've done that several times, just dive in. I think it's really important to follow your intuition, to follow your heart, sometimes rather than your head, because your heart really knows, and to trust that. So then this is another picture of us last year at the Paradigm Shift seminar with his CEO, Sandy Gallagher. I keep moving my picture around. I don't know, so if you guys can see me doing that or not, I apologize. So, and I continue to work with him, because this is what I found out. Bob Proctor had the key that I didn't know I was missing. Remember I said I didn't know what I didn't know? This picture was taken in the very beginning when I actually in his house, in his basement, where he has tons of pictures of celebrities and like a pool table and like playing pool table. And I was still very excited to be with him, but I still didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know that he had the foundation that needs to be in place for all success to be achieved. And so I was just learning at that time of that picture, but I was still excited. I still was committed to the process. So now this is a picture, obviously, and I love helping my clients unlock the secrets to success and skyrocket all areas of their life and business, because as you learn some of these secrets to success, it affects all areas of your life. It affects your family, it affects your friends, everything. And so it's not only for business success, but it's really for all success. And so I just love sharing the secrets. I'm super passionate about sharing this with you today. I get really excited. You probably can hear that excitement growing as I go through the talk here, because I know that this works, and I know it's information that we don't have. We're not taught in school. And if you want to succeed in a huge way, you really need to understand some things about you and about how your thinking process works. So let's get back into off of me into the seminar. So what are the pitfalls that most network marketers face? Think about that for yourself. Think about that for your teams. This is what I found is that you tend to get excited about you go to a convention, you get really excited, you get new products, you get all this stuff, and it just doesn't last. I mean, it lasts a couple months, it lasts maybe a half a year. I mean, that's why they have the conventions every year, or even more frequent, because they know that people need to get excited, you know, to have that I don't even know what to say there, to just get enthused again. So you also, you know, when you start getting no's from people, that can be discouraging. You know what to do, but you're not doing it. Like your leaders are telling you exactly what to do, but you're not doing it. I'm getting some comments here. Yeah. And you think Other people can do it. I think I have a typo there, but not you. I don't know if you've ever been to a convention or something and I'm like, oh my gosh, that person can do it. Why not me? Have you ever thought that? It's a really positive thing, but then there's also the why not me aspect to it. You have a hard time with selling something, or when you get those no's, get those rejections. So put a 1 in the chat if you relate to any or all of these pitfalls, or if you've experienced those. Awesome. So, well, probably not awesome, but that's why you're here, right? Awesome. Okay, so we're on the same page. So what I'm here to talk to you about mostly today is that your success starts with you. And studying you is the best thing you can do to achieve more success. You set a goal that will stretch you and cause you to grow. And I think this is one of the things I see in network marketing too, is people don't set big enough goals for themselves. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that, right kind of goals to set. You want to bridge the gap between what you know and what you're doing. So really taking action on things and become more productive. And when you're more productive, you're more excited and having more fun. And more things about success starting with you. So stop worrying about what other people think about you. What other people think about you is none of your business. And we're going to talk more about that. Gain confidence by improving your self-image. And this is huge. We're going to talk about this a lot tomorrow. But self-image sets the boundary of all your accomplishments. And you always need to keep improving your self-image. Some people think, oh, I'm good, I have a good self-image, but it's not about that. You always need to be improving your self-image if you're setting new goals. Letting go of fear and embracing the adventure. Fear is like something that so many people are stopped by. Eliminate competition. We talked about that a little bit earlier, and build a team that works for you. Have more of a creative, think about creation rather than competition. So success starts with you. So we're going to be talking about that. And we're going to go into the 3 science-based secrets of building a powerful self-confidence and self-image. So secret number 1. I'm just going to go into the chat for 1 second. I see a couple people have chatted. Oh, it's just, yes, a lot of them. Okay. Secret number 1. How to set the right goals and stop worrying what other people think of you. What do you want? This is a huge question. This is that question that Bob Proctor was asking me. What do you want? And I ask people all the time, you know, when I talk to them, what do you really want? This is so important because we are really not encouraged to think about what we want. If money, time were no object, if nothing was in your way, what would you want? And just think about that for yourself. What do you want? And sometimes what you want is not necessarily how you're going to make income, at least right away, or you don't see it that way. I also like to ask people, like, what do you love? Like, the things you love are a clue to what you want. So we'll talk a little bit more of that. But you want to know where you're going. And so you want to have a goal. Like if you got in your car and didn't know where you were going and just started driving, you just randomly drive around in circles or randomly drive places without having, you know, a goal. So, and if you didn't have a plan, say for example, you were going from Phoenix to LA, you know you were going there, but if you didn't have the plan, if you didn't get the map out and make a plan, you wouldn't successfully get there. So the purpose of setting a goal is really for you to grow, and your goal must be big enough for you to grow. And you don't need to know how to get to your goal. That is the biggest thing that stops most people, is they think they need to know how it's going to happen. And here we're going to talk about goals a little bit, dive deep. So there's 3 types of goals. We have an A type of goal, which is a goal you know how to do. You already know how to do it. So for example, on an A type goal, if you wanted to buy a new car and you bought a new car 4 years ago, same kind of car, you just wanted the same kind of car, but you wanted a new one, that wouldn't be a good goal because you've already done it. You already know how to do it. So you understand? And then there's a B type of goal. This is a type of goal that you think you can do it. You can figure out how to do it. You may not know how, but you're pretty sure you can do it. And then there's the type of goal that really makes you stretch. Really makes you stretch and stretch and stretch. Get out of your comfort zone. You don't know how to do it. You're going to set a big goal, which is a C-type goal. And it's what you really want to do. And you don't know how to do it, but you know that you will. And that's one of the beauties of having all the support in network marketing and accountability with network marketing, because one of the things that, we are our worst enemy. What is the quote that Bob says? You are the biggest problem you ever have had, and you are the only solution. So that's why we have to understand ourselves. And one of the things we can understand about ourselves is that given our own devices, we probably won't do what we want to do or what we say we're going to do. So we have to have support. We have to have coaching. We have to have accountability in order to get to our goals. It's just our human nature. This is actually the title of a book that I love. When I heard this title, What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. I think that's the title. Yeah, that's the title. I have it memorized. So What You Think of Me Is None of My Business. It's a book by Terry Kohler Whitaker, still in print. You can buy it. But I just actually heard the title and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good, because that has been plagued me for so many years. What other people think about me, what my family thinks about me, what my friends think about me. And then when I heard this, I said to myself, in fact, if I focus on what you think of me, I will never get to my goals or live my dreams. You know, how many of you feel like you're living somebody else's dream, or you've lived somebody else's dream, or you maybe settle for somebody else's dream? That's kind of what this is all about. You have to really just be you. And sometimes that actually might require, oh, she's read that book. Yeah, it's a great book. It might require that you change your friends, change the people that you surround yourself with. So really good to understand this and practice living for you and doing for, doing you, being you. And really keep asking yourself, what do I want? Where am I going? What do I want my life to be like? Because the goal, it's really not about getting to the goal. It's really about who you become along the way to the goal. Because if a goal is meant to stretch you, for you to grow, that's the important part, that you keep growing along the way. It's said that if you're not growing, you're decaying. So that's why, you always want to be growing in your life, because if you're stuck or, don't want to extend yourself or expand yourself anymore, you're just on the path to decay and disintegration and, frankly, death. And that's how a lot of people live their life. So I'm so excited you guys are here to find out some new tools and some new information to keep on the growing side of life. So secret number 2, how to let go of fear and embrace your network marketing adventure. I'm tempted to ask you, how many of you feel like you're afraid, or that fear is stopping you? I think a lot of people have like a fear of failure. The chat thing doesn't come up very easily, but a lot of people have a fear of failure. But the thing is that you have to fail in order to succeed. It's part of the process. And so the fear of failure really should not be a part of your MO. Learning to embrace fear and learning that it's part of the process. So we're going to really take a deep dive in this right now, and I'm going to explain to you about fear. But I have to explain, first of all, some things about your mind. And you may have learned this before. However, we know that repetition is the best way to really learn. So I've studied this for 3 years, and I keep hearing it over and over and over again. And you hear it at a different level. And when you hear this at a different level, you've grown, so you hear it differently. And as you grow, you always hear things differently. So you're always growing your awareness. But the fact is that you've been programmed, I've been programmed throughout our lives. And you have to change the inner programming that you have to work for you versus against you, and align yourself with the results you desire. I mean, you can think of programming like a computer. When you bought your computer, it was programmed and with certain functions, and you are constantly updating it. You're constantly updating your phone to the new functions, the new updates. So why not update your program? And there's a part of your mind that's holding you back from reaching your goal. This part of your mind actually holds the programming. And you've been unaware of it for most of your life. And we call it a paradigm. It's your paradigm. And this is kind of a fancy word, but it is a mental program that has almost exclusive control over your habitual behavior. And almost all of your behavior is habitual. So I think it would be wise for us to look at what is the paradigm that's controlling us in order to get a new result. So the biggest problem in understanding the paradigm is that when we're asked what the mind looks like, we get this. And this is a blank screen. We get nothing. We don't know what the mind looks like. Most people, if you're asked what does the mind look like, you get a picture of the brain, and the brain is not the mind. The brain is like a networking organ in your body that, it takes information in, puts information out, or, it's not your mind. Your mind is different. And so we're going to study the mind now. And I want you to think about your refrigerator that's in your house. Maybe you can see it from where you're at, but think about it in your mind. Just think about it. And think about what is the color of your fridge. Most of them are silver these days. Sometimes they're black, white, green. But can you see a picture of your fridge in your mind? And can you see the color? And even if you don't see in pictures, can you imagine it? Because you've seen it so many times. So the key to the mind is that we think in pictures, and we don't have a picture for the mind. So when we don't have a picture for something, it causes confusion and chaos in our mind. So let's look at the mind. And this is Dr. Thurman Fleet. He, in 1934, was a holistic chiropractor in the healing arts, and he was very interested in the mind and the body and how to help his clients the best, his patients the best. And he stated that the mind is an activity, not a thing. No one has ever seen the mind. In order to gain clarity and eliminate confusion, I will create an image we can work with. So he created this image. We call it the stick figure. It's very simple looking. The entire picture of the stick figure is a picture of your mind. Both your conscious mind, subconscious mind, and your body together are your mind. A mind is an activity, as he said. And you have more aspects to your mind than conscious and subconscious, but we simplify it here in order to understand it better. And my mentor, Bob Proctor, said, this is the most valuable idea I've ever learned. And I would have to agree with him. And this is the missing link that I didn't have before. And ironically, it was from a chiropractor, but I never heard of that chiropractor when I was practicing chiropractic. I never heard of his technique or what he did. And so, so when I learned it from Bob, it was the first time. So let's look at this, how you create your results with thinking. So you have your conscious mind, and then from your conscious mind, you're connected to the outside world through your senses. They're like little antennas on in this drawing. You're seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. You interact with the outside world from your conscious mind. It's your thinking part of your mind. It's your logic part of your mind where you can make choices, and where you can use your thinking and your mind activities in order to make decisions and things like that. And then you have your subconscious area of your mind, which is the feeling part of your mind, the emotional part of your mind. For those of you with essential oils, we talk about this a lot because it actually is a part of the brain, the limbic brain. So when you smell the essential oils, they go in and affect that feeling part of your mind. That's why they work so well. And then we have the body, which takes actions, and those actions get you a result. So that's a simple picture of how the stick figure works. And another aspect of, I'll go back to the think conscious mind, really important. I'm not sure I have another slide on this, so I'm going to talk about it now. The thinking part of your mind has the ability to choose, and it can accept ideas or reject ideas. So right now I've been talking a lot about guarding your mind, because from the outside world, what you take in. Because in the subconscious mind, it can only accept what it's given. So anything you implant in your subconscious mind, it can only accept, and then it's gonna take that as true, and that will be how it will affect your results. So for example, in our world today, there's a lot of negative things on the news. For the last 3 months, there's been a lot of negative things on the news, and maybe you've avoided watching the news because of that. But you can choose to eliminate the news. You can choose to go consciously watch the news and then not get emotionally involved with it. So you can accept or reject what you're hearing on the news. You can have empathy for what's going on in the news and what's going on with people. But when you get emotionally involved in anything, that is implanting into your subconscious mind. So then that's going to start affecting your results. So I actually look at that line in between the conscious and subconscious mind as the lid to my subconscious mind. And I have control of the lid. I can put anything in my subconscious mind that I want to put in, and I can reject the things that I don't want to put in, because it's going to affect my results. And we'll go more into this. You were programmed very early in your life. You were programmed between 0 and 5 years old. When you were born, you pretty much didn't have that conscious mind, that top part of the stick figure. So you were programmed. And by family, by, you were born with a certain programming from your genetics, and then you're programmed by your environment, family, teachers, friends. Everything is programmed into your subconscious mind. You believe it is true. Ideas, rules, values, and beliefs that you grew up around became true for you, and you took them on as true. Your parents believed them, so you believed them. There was certain cultural values that were around you when you grew up. They were held as true, and you didn't have the ability to reject because your conscious mind wasn't fully developed. So you just were like a sponge, and you accepted all of that and took it in as true for yourself. And that's basically how you get programmed in an early, and from like 0 to 18 years of age, by 18, you're pretty much 96 to 98% programmed. You're going to run off that programming from your early life up to 18 years of old for the rest of your life. You will run out of those habits, beliefs, values, ideas for the rest of your life unless you consciously change them. And that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about consciously changing this paradigm that's been implanted in you, the program that's implanted in you, so that you can achieve what you want, so that you can believe what you want. And a lot of you aren't even aware of all of these beliefs, values, and rules that are in your mind right now. So you have to bring those up to awareness, because those are the things that's stopping you. Those are the, you know, you took them in as true, but now you have to ask yourself, what is really true? What is true for me now? And create a new paradigm in your mind that's going to work for you versus against you. So we're really looking at changing your inner program to work for you as against you. I was ahead of my slide. And the only way to change the subconscious mind is two ways: through repetition of what you want, through elite level coaching and holding you accountable and really getting you aware of how to shift these old programs. And there's another way that the program is changed, and that is through a highly emotional event. And that could be through the death of a family member, through a breakup that you had, something traumatic in your life. It could be, we used to use the example of 9/11. It's still a good example, but the people in New York City, a lot of people that were involved with that situation, they immediately made a decision to change how they were living. Some of them enrolled in the service, you know, so they really changed how they were thinking because of that. Now we have an emotional situation right now where a lot of us are taking the opportunity to change our programming, to decide different things about how we're going to run our life, how we're going to do our life. And so we can use this highly emotional event that we're in right now, you know, towards the negative, or we can use it to the positive. So we really have to think about how we're going to use what we're in right now to create what we want in our lives. So we have something that I talked about in the previous slides called the knowing doing gap, where we know what to do and we don't do it. This is really prevalent, and I think it's prevalent for a lot of highly educated people too, because we know so much. We know so much. I mean, this happened for me. Like, I know so much, but I wasn't taking action on everything I knew. And also, so the conscious mind is really the knowing part of your mind. That's where you know, learn and stack all the books, and you know, you go to school and all of that. And the subconscious mind is really the doing part of your mind. So it doesn't matter how much you know if you're not taking action and doing. And most of the time people are doing from their subconscious paradigm, the old habits and beliefs that they have. And so they're not really getting anywhere. There's a conflict. There's a gap between that. And then your actions are taken based on the paradigm, and you're not getting the results that you could get. And most of us know way more. Like, most of us don't need to go to school anymore. A lot of you are probably younger on the call, and you think maybe I need to go to school or get a higher education. And it's not that that's bad, but you already know everything you need to know in order to be highly successful in any area that you want. If it's network marketing or some other area, you already know what you need to know. There's just a gap between what you know and what you do, and that's your paradigm, and that's what's holding you back. So you're going to get conflicting results if your conscious mind and your subconscious mind are not in alignment, and you're going to get like a chaotic feeling, a weird vibration in your body, and not get the results that you want. Here's another way to look at that knowing doing gap. There's two things you must know to change your results: where you are and where you're going. So where are you now, and what do you want? It seems simple. Like, if it's so simple and so obvious, why are so many people stuck? And maybe you see this as yourself, like you have your goal, where you're going, but you just can't seem to get there. And it's really where you are that's the most important to look at right now in this example anyway. Where are you? And what are you thinking? And what are your paradigms? Because it's the paradigms that hold you back from getting to your goal. And you try to goal for your goal, you know, you restart, try to go again, and then it's that inner thinking that stops you, and you're not even aware of it. and you don't even know why it's happening. Say, for example, you can look at it. Good examples are like when in the new year, when you set a workout goal and you want to work out, and then most people by the end of 2 months, 3 months, they're not doing what they said they were going to do on a consistent basis. They're not achieving that. You can see it at the gyms. The gyms are really busy in January and then they die down in March. With a weight loss goal, you set a weight loss goal and you're going to eat a certain way, and then you see a piece of chocolate cake and you're like, oh, one piece won't hurt me, and you're back to an old pattern of your eating. And this is like another pattern, like how many people lose weight and gain it back, lose weight and gain it back. It's not because what they were doing wasn't effective, it's because of their paradigm. And it's also because of the self-image, which we'll talk about tomorrow or later today. So this is an important thing to know with the stick figure. If you can imagine the stick figure in your head again too. So when you change your behavior, the results are only temporary. If you change your actions, if you change how you're eating, if you change how you're working out, the results are only temporary, because when you change your thinking, the results become permanent. So whatever the thinking was that you had that got you into the place of not exercising, or the place of being overweight or not eating healthy, like if you don't change your thinking about that, then you're gonna change the results for a while because you're changing the behavior, but it's only gonna be temporary. So think about this in your network marketing career as well. If you're changing certain habits, but you're not changing the thinking or the beliefs you have about yourself behind the habits, then it's not going to be a consistent change or a consistent result. I'm wondering if we have a question or a comment. Nope, you guys are just following along. Okay, so this is the road to freedom. And whoops, sorry. It looks kind of confusing. It confused me when I first saw it. I'm going to walk you through it. This is our little stick figure walking up to the terror barrier, walking up to that brick wall, and hopefully learning how to get to freedom. But we have to understand it first. So, sorry, we're going to understand the 4 stages of fear. So the first stage I call stuck. And this is your stick figure. And with the stick figure, you imagine yourself as the stick figure. And imagine the big part of the circle to be your head, even though it's not, it's everywhere in your body, but it's your head for now. And then your body is your body. And we have this power and energy flowing to us every day. You call it innate, you call it God, you call it universal intelligence, whatever you call it. There's energy flowing to you and through you every single day, every single second of every single day. And you can choose to choose what you do with that energy. But in this example, you're having X-type thoughts. And those X-type thoughts are being impressed upon your subconscious mind as X-type feelings. And then your X-type feelings are creating a vibration in your body, and it's creating an X-type vibration in your body, which then goes out into the world. If you know the law of cause and effect, it goes out into the world. You are in the world with an X-type vibration, and you're going to attract that X-type vibration back to yourself. We call this stuck. We call this insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, but not getting a different result. And then the second step is reason. So you've gotten a little smarter, and you've got an idea on the outside, from the outside. And you've taken it into your conscious mind, and you're thinking about this new idea. You're thinking maybe about the new goal that you have for your network marketing business, and or a new idea to promote your business or something like that. You have a new idea. We're going to call that a why idea. And then this why idea, you're just holding it in your conscious mind, but you haven't gotten emotionally involved with it. So you still have that X feeling. You have all your X paradigms in your subconscious mind. You have all your values, beliefs, what you've had for your lifetime in your subconscious mind. And the vibration your body is going to stay in then is what the subconscious mind is in, which is an X vibration that goes out into the world. You go into the world vibrating like X, and you're going to get an X type result. Even though you're kind of thinking about something, you have an idea, but you haven't really fully gotten involved with it. So then this is where we get to the third aspect, which we call the terror barrier. And so this is where you take that idea, the why idea, in your conscious mind, and you start getting excited about it. You start planting it into your subconscious mind. You start seeing pictures of it, feeling yourself having it. And what it does is it mixes with the old paradigm in the subconscious mind, the values and beliefs from when you were growing up, and the new idea mixes with all that, and it kind of churns and becomes a little chaotic. You get, you start to be in a little bit of fear, and anxiety is produced in your body when you start thinking about the new goal, but you have the old beliefs. Oh, I shouldn't really go for that. I don't really think I can, but I want it. So you're back and forth, and this just creates chaos. So most people, they get in this place and they feel really excited but anxious. Usually the anxiety wins over. They hit the wall and they go back to bondage. They go back to bondage or stuck. They go back to comfort zone. They go back to safety. They go back to settling. Oh, I didn't really want that anyway. That was somebody else's goal. It wasn't really for me. I mean, all of these things that I'm saying are your paradigm talking to you. That's what, it's very sneaky and tricky. And that's why we have to use a lot of repetition to change all those inner tapes that we have that are holding us back. So when you understand what's happening to you, you can get through this terror barrier. You can understand that this is part of the process. The process of getting to a new goal is going to be feeling a little uncomfortable. And so that's actually how you know you have a good goal, is that you feel a little uncomfortable, because it takes a little bit of uncomfort to change the patterns. And so you're going to learn how to break through the terror barrier and really get to freedom, get to where you want to be, get to that goal you want to have. And really, when you get to freedom, you celebrate and you're happy and excited, yet you don't want to stay complacent in freedom. You want to keep growing and keep setting new goals. And when you set a new goal, you're going to feel that uncomfort again, but you get more and more used to what that's like, and that's good, because that means you have a good goal, and you just get more comfortable being uncomfortable. And so it's a process, but I hope you guys are put a 1 in the chat if this is helping you understand what's happening when you get afraid and when you feel anxious in your body. For me, this has been the key. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about, for any of you that are doing wellness-based network marketing, this is really going to help you the next part too. Okay, so you guys are understanding a little bit. That's good. Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're going to take another deep dive, but we're going to expand on this. But fear and growth go really hand in hand. You have to learn to embrace the fear. I have to move myself so I can read that. When you courageously face the thing you fear, you automatically experience the growth you have been seeking. When you courageously face the thing you fear, you automatically experience the growth you've been seeking. And the growth you're seeking is to go for the goal, to grow yourself, to be alive, have more fun. This is one thing that I realized recently, that, look back at your life. What are the highlights of your life? And for me, when I look back at the highlights of my life, they're the times when I pushed myself to do something. I did firewalking. I, did crazy stuff. I took a trip to Scotland on a one-way ticket when I was 26 years old, not knowing how I was going to get back. Like, I would never do that today, but I did that and I grew. And so think about, if the highlights of your life are when you did something that was scary, and fun, then why are we so scared to do it now? What is stopping us now from that? So that helps me to realize that I want to make more highlights of my life, then I've got to embrace this fear. So you want to learn to stay in control and release self-doubt. And we're going to talk about this. I'm going to have a cough drop just because I have a little cough. So energy is, and you get to choose, this is those stick figures again. You get to choose whether you're going to be in a negative polarity or a positive polarity. In this example, we refer to the negative polarity as ignorance, not stupidity, but just not knowing, and knowledge as the positive polarity. And we're going to dive into these. The negative side is the cycle of disintegration, a cycle of dis-ease. So what happens in this phase is that in your conscious mind, you're worrying and you're doubting. And you don't shut the lid to your subconscious mind. So your worry and doubt gets impressed into your subconscious mind and it becomes fear. And when the fear gets impressed into the body, it becomes anxiety. Or when you get emotionally involved with the fear, it eventually becomes anxiety feeling in your body. And most people suppress that feeling of anxiety, which then leads to depression, which then leads to dis-ease or disharmony in the body and disintegration. And this is a cycle that most people live their entire life. They don't know how this works. They don't know what they don't know. They don't know that worry and doubt is going to cause fear and anxiety. I used to actually think that worrying was thinking. That was a long time ago, but I was confused. I didn't know how to think. And I thought, well, when I worry about something, I'm using my mind to worry, so that must be thinking. But no, it's not. So when you're worrying about your bank account, say, and then you're impressing that into fear in your subconscious mind, you're going to create that, you're going to keep creating that over and over, that same situation with the bank account. So when you are at worry and doubt, that's the place to guard your mind and shift your mind to the positive polarity. So as soon as you notice yourself in worry or doubt, you have to stop. You have to say, no, I'm going a different way. And if you happen to not, which happens to all of us, then we have a way to work ourselves out of it and get to the positive. So this is the positive polarity that you can choose. The knowledge, understanding yourself. And the only way to understand yourself is really through study and repetitious study of certain material that's going to help you learn about, for example, the stick figure and how it works. And then when you gain more and more understanding of yourself through study, repetitious study, that's impressed into the subconscious mind as faith. And notice that faith and fear live in the same area of the subconscious mind. So you really have the ability to choose. Am I going to live in fear or am I going to live in faith? And they're both based on the unknown. So why not choose faith? Because we don't know. We're ignorant. But now we're not. We have knowledge. So the more and more you study how you work and how the universal laws work and how you work in the universal laws, how it all is connected, you can have more and more faith and belief in yourself and in your own success. One of the things they say sometimes in belief is that, have you guys ever have a friend or have a family member that is trying to do something and you can totally see them doing it, you can totally see them being successful, but they don't see it in themselves? And so we kind of have this ability to see other people's value, worth, and ability, but we don't see our own. And I've come to the belief that we don't see our own because we're clouded by the paradigm that we grew up in. We're clouded by the values, beliefs that are inside of us. So we don't tend to see our own potential. And that's the benefit of a coach. That's the benefit of a really good friend that's going to hold you to what is possible for you and help you believe until you can believe for yourself. So it's a process of believing more and more in yourself that you're going to be able to get to where you want to go. And then faith is impressed into the body and it becomes well-being. So I really call this the wellness model too. You remember that it was dis-ease and disharmony in the negative polarity and the well-being in the positive polarity. So you have well-being. When you're in well-being, you're expressing yourself, you're excited. People notice people that are high, that are high energy, that are excited. People want to be around that kind of people. That's why we do network marketing, because mostly it's a really positive environment. So you're going to express your well-being. You're going to be in acceleration. And at the same time, you're going to be at ease. You're going to have more of a calmness because you know who you are and you have a real clarity of where you're going. And this is the place that we actually get into creation. So in the opposite side, it was disintegration and really death and disease and disharmony. And in the positive polarity, it's really when we're in the mode of creation. We're creating what we want in our lives. And so you have to get yourself in a positive polarity to create what you want, to have more in your life, and to be in harmony with yourself. I think that's the last slide on that one. So this is the way of creation. So you want to really remain in control and in charge of yourself, no matter the outside circumstances. And through understanding this stick figure, it really helps us learn how to be in control from the inside and not from the out, and not let the outside control you. So just think about that for yourself. How often do you make choices based on what's happening in the outside world versus making choices from what you want or who you know you are or what's true for you? Even if you have a husband or a wife, how often do you ask them their opinion? When you, I was not planning on saying this, but it just kind of comes out sometimes. So when you ask somebody else their opinion, most of the time, unless they're really studying what you're studying and really on the same vibration that you're at, you're going to get their paradigm. You're going to get not their opinion, but you get their paradigm. So unless they're very aware of their paradigms, you know, it's really good to not ask that many people what you should do, because you know what you should do. So that's another good habit to get in. So why do we get the same results over and over again? You probably can guess this by now, but see that R, it's flashing at you. The R is your result. So when you focus on the R, when you focus on the current result, this is what most people pay attention to. Then we think about the current result and we have feelings about the current result, and then we get the same result. So if you're thinking about your current result in your business, then you're going to have thoughts about that. You're going to have feelings about that, and you're going to keep in the same vibration and keep in the same result. If you're thinking about your bank account and not happy about the results in your bank account, and you're paying attention to it all the time, what you pay attention to, what you focus on is what you get. What you focus on is what you expands. You probably heard that. So the way to get out of this pattern, the same results over and over again, is to cut yourself off from the current result that you have. Because really the current result that you are having is based on your previous thinking weeks or months ago. So in order to get a new result, you have to cut yourself off from the current result and only focus on what you want, where you're going, your goal, what you're going for. And this takes a lot of practice to disconnect, to cut off what's happening right now and only focus on where you're going. Because otherwise your paradigm is going to just stay in control if you keep focusing on the current result. I see something in the chat. All right. So I think I might be going over. I'm a little chatty today. Sorry about that. Your results are a direct reflection of what's going on inside of you then. Your results are a direct reflection of what's going on inside of you. I apologize for going over, but I get chatty. So you can see this now with the stick figure. You can see that the vibration your body is in, based on how you're thinking and how you're feeling, is the result that you're going to have. So we really have to understand this. All right, I have another poll to launch for you. How confident do you feel? Sorry, I've got one. Poll. I thought I had another poll. There it is. Oh, I guess I don't. Nope, no poll. Sorry about that. I thought I was doing that. But ask yourself, how confident do you feel in yourself, in what's possible for you? Let's just go on. So we know that what lies before you and what lies behind you are tiny matters compared to what lies within you. I love that quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Let's see, I have a chat. Oh, thanks. That's a way to do it. So in the chat, from 1 to 10, how confident are you? 10 being most confident, 1 being not confident at all. So we got an 8.5. Thank you for that idea. I was going to make a poll, but I don't think I did. So what lies within you? You are the source of everything that your success is going to come from. So tomorrow we're going to talk a lot more about self-confidence, and it really sets the boundaries of anywhere you can go personally or professionally. And we're going to learn why that is tomorrow. But just think about that idea. That self-confidence, really in self-image, what the image you hold of yourself is what sets your glass ceiling, keeps you where you're at. As soon as you set a goal, your current self-image wants to pull you back to where it's comfortable. It is the single best thing to get working on in order to accelerate your success to what you desire. So I have a little homework for you guys. I love to give you homework, see who does it. Because tomorrow we're going to be talking about self-image. And so think about, I want you to get out your journal and I want you to really do some writing. And really think about, when you reach your goal, how will you be living? And sort of make a shopping list of how you'll be dressing, like what you'll be wearing, what you'll be doing, what you'll have, how will you live, who will you, well, I actually have the list here. What will you do? How will you dress? Where will you go? How will you talk? What car will you drive? Who are your friends? Describe your new house, if you have a new house, when you reach your goal. Just really describe everything about your life when you reach your goal. And maybe you don't have the goal that you need right now. Think about that C-type goal. Think about the big goal that you're going for, the goal that's going to make you grow. And then also, I want you to write down, now that I've achieved my goal, how do I feel? Because we know from learning the stick figure that feeling, when you feel it, it's going to create it. It's going to be created. So use emotional words to describe how you feel now that your goal is achieved. And ask yourself that question, now that my goal is achieved, how do I feel? That's a great thing to ask yourself every single night. Now that my goal is achieved, how do I feel? How do I feel? How do you express your feelings to others about reaching your goal? How are you talking to people? Like, I'm so excited, I got it, I won it, whatever. And who's with you when you've reached your goal, when you're talking about your goal? Or who do you call? And how are you feeling? Most important, how are you feeling? What do you say to them? So I want you to just take some notes, and maybe you even just write down, if you're not sure what your C-type goal is, you can also do this exercise. Remember, what do I want? Just ask yourself, what do I want? What do I really want? And this is, I routinely ask myself this just to make sure that I'm on track, because I think we can fool ourselves sometimes. So just ask yourself, what do I want? What do I really want? This is all we get. This is the one life we get to live in this body. So what do I want? What do I really want? Do I want to ride horses? Do I want to learn to play the piano? Do I want to dance? Do I want to be an actress? Like, it could be completely different than what you're doing right now. And it doesn't necessarily have to do with what you're doing for money, because if you think about what you want and you start doing what you want, say you wanted to be an actress and you start acting classes, well, that's going to make you happy. So maybe being happy, taking acting classes is going to help you have a better vibration for your network marketing business. This is just an example off the top of my head. So what do you want? What does your soul want? You have to really figure out what's going to make you happy. And what do you love is another way to put that. What do I love? Just make a list of all the things you love. That'll give you a clue into what you want. So you've got a couple different ways to do the homework, but to get you into thinking about goals, what you want, how you want to live, how you're going to be living, and how you're going to be feeling when you get there. Okay? Any questions about homework? And so I just want to review what we've talked about so far today in the class, how to set the right kind of goals. We talked about the A, B, and C type of goals, and to stop worrying about what other people think about you. And we also learned that worrying, when it's impressed into the subconscious mind, becomes fear. So you really want to stop worrying about what other people think of you and really be living from you and who you are and the source of your being, and just being you and not worried about what other people think or what other people's opinions are. How to let go of fear and embrace your network marketing adventure. Well, how to let go of fear. We talked about fear and you get fear and how you can shift the fear into the positive polarity. And so when you shift from fear into the positive polarity, you're going to have a new vibration. And then that new vibration is going to be felt by everyone around you, by your team, by new people you're meeting. And so, and moving through the fear through the terror barrier to embrace fear in a way to keep going to your goals. And what we're going to talk more about tomorrow is this eliminating competition to build a productive team that works together, and really to be more in the creative mindset versus than a competitive mindset. I have somebody saying something in the chat. Awesome. Thank you, Christina. I'm glad it helped. And sorry for going over, but that's all I have for you today. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to talk a lot more about self-image and confidence, and really how to get you to achieve the goals that you want through having a self-image that's congruent with where you're going. So I really look forward to talking to you tomorrow, and thank you so much for being on the call, sticking with me. Sorry we went over, but I think that you got tons of value, and so I'll see you tomorrow, and thanks a lot.